2022 Nissan Frontier versus the 2022 Toyota Tacoma. Which is the best midsize pickup truck to buy? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. If you're in the market for a simple, reliable pickup truck, there's a really good chance that you've considered either the Toyota Tacoma or the Nissan Frontier. Both have legendary reputations when it comes to their longevity and durability. The Tacoma in particular is well known for being a simple, reliable workhorse that can last for hundreds of thousands of problem-free miles. But don't discount the Frontier either. Nissan has fully redesigned their midsize pickup truck for the 2022 model year. The question though is it worth considering a Frontier over a comparable Tacoma, and which one is the best midsize pickup truck? Well, make sure to stick around to the end of the video because that's what we're going to find out. Now we're going to start things off behind the wheel of the 2022 Frontier. Now this is the first time that Nissan has fully redesigned their midsize pickup truck in over 15 years. Now what's really obvious about this redesign is that Nissan has updated and modernized what really needed to be changed, but they haven't messed with the overall formula too much. For example, the Frontier continues to run on the same platform and body-on-frame chassis as the previous generation truck. Now what that means is that unlike some of the more modern unibody trucks in this segment, like the Honda Ridgeline, the Frontier is available in a variety of different configurations depending on what you're looking for. Like the Tacoma, the Frontier gives you a choice between either a 5-foot or a 6-foot box, king cab or 4-door crew cab configuration, and in the States you have a choice between either rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, with 4-wheel drive being standard in Canada. One area where the Frontier doesn't offer any choice though is with the drivetrain. Unlike the previous generation model that gave you a choice between either a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder engine, the new Frontier only comes with a 3.8-liter V6 that comes matched to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now compared to the V6 that you get in the Tacoma, this engine does make more power, 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty impressive. Even with the extra power though, I'm not fully convinced that this engine is much of an upgrade over what you got in the previous generation Frontier. For one thing, I'm not exactly sure that the extra power is really all that noticeable out on the road. And the fuel economy is not that much different from what you got with the previous generation 4-liter V6. The Frontier is only able to get between 17 and 23 miles per gallon, or around 10 to 15 liters per 100 kilometers, which is okay for a mid-sized pickup truck, but not that impressive. If you're not getting a significant improvement in power and fuel economy, then I'm not exactly sure what the point is in gambling on a new, unproven drivetrain. But even so, I do really like the fact that Nissan has stuck with a simple, naturally aspirated V6 engine, as opposed to a more complicated turbo 4-cylinder like you'd find on some other mid-sized pickup trucks like the Ford Ranger. Naturally aspirated engines are just simpler, cheaper to repair, and better for long-term reliability, which is exactly what you want in a pickup truck. Nissan has made some really nice upgrades to the Frontier in many other areas. The bed, for example, comes with some really useful features like a spray-in bed liner, a dampened tailgate, bed lighting, and a rail cleat system. Now, towing and payload capacity are not exactly class-leading, but they're definitely competitive. The Frontier is able to tow up to around 6,500 pounds and has a payload capacity of around 1,450 pounds. Although those numbers are not quite as good as what you can get from some other mid-sized pickup trucks, they are competitive with the Tacoma and probably more than enough for most truck buyers. What's really nice about the Tacoma though is that it does give you some very useful features that make towing a lot more comfortable and safer, like a surround view camera system, trailer sway control, and a tow haul mode. And of course, you also have your selectable 4-wheel drive system with 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high, and 4-wheel drive low. Now the version that Nissan gave me to test is the top of the line Pro 4X, which is the most off-road oriented version that you can buy. Now although it's probably not quite as off-road capable as some other mid-sized pickup trucks like say the Colorado ZR2 or the Gladiator Rubicon, this is still a pretty good off-road package. The Pro 4X gives you some nice off-road hardware like skid plates, Bilstein shocks, an electronically locking rear differential, and 17-inch wheels with all-terrain tires. Now what's really nice about all this off-road hardware is that it doesn't really affect the way the Frontier feels on the road, and this is a surprisingly comfortable pickup truck to drive. Now part of that comfort has to do with the updated interior, which is probably one of the biggest upgrades that you get with the new Frontier. One of the nicest parts of this interior are the zero gravity seats, which are basically memory foam filled seats, giving you all day long comfort, which is extremely important in a truck. Another nice upgrade is the modern touchscreen infotainment system, which uses the exact same interface found on the latest generation Rogue and Pathfinder. It has great looking graphics, it's very easy to use and navigate, and comes with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get plenty of simple buttons and knobs, so most of the controls are very straightforward and easy to use. The updated interior has definitely moved the Frontier up a few notches, and it's probably one of the most noticeable differences between the Tacoma. Now, even though this is a very nice interior, it's definitely not perfect. For one thing, we don't have a telescoping steering wheel. You can only tilt it up and down. It also doesn't have the most spacious back seats. Even with this crew cab four-door configuration, the back seats are definitely on the tight side. The seat backs are pretty upright, but its saving grace is that you do have under-seat storage, which is really nice to see. I think it's pretty obvious that Nissan put in some serious effort when redesigning this Frontier. They pretty much upgraded everything that needed to be changed, improved the technology, and just made it a much more competitive midsize pickup truck. The question though is it finally a better pickup truck than the Tacoma? Well, time to get behind the wheel of one and find out. Okay, so behind the wheel of the 2022 Toyota Tacoma. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that this definitely feels like a much older truck, and that's because it is. The current generation Tacoma has been with us since the 2016 model year, and it's actually due for a full redesign in 2023. So it definitely feels a little bit crude when compared to the much newer Frontier. There's definitely a lot more road noise, and the ride is noticeably stiffer as well. I don't think this would be quite as comfortable to drive on long distances as the Frontier. But even though there are a few compromises on the road, there's definitely no compromises when it comes to its truck capability. Even though this is an older truck, it does have similar towing and payload capacities as the Frontier. It's also available in a variety of different versions, including different box lengths and body style configurations, with a choice between either rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and you even get a choice between two different drivetrains. Unlike the Frontier, which is only available with a V6, the Tacoma offers both a 4-cylinder base model and a 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine. With the V6, you even get the choice between a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic transmission. In Canada, all Tacomas come with a V6 engine and 4-wheel drive, which is exactly how my test car is spec'd. Now, even though the V6 does make less power than you get with the Frontier, just under 280 horsepower, it definitely doesn't feel underpowered, especially if you go with the standard 6-speed manual, which is the one that my test car has. The engine is a little bit on the noisy side, and it doesn't produce the best fuel economy, averaging around 17 to 23 miles per gallon, or around 10 to 15 liters per 100 kilometers, pretty similar numbers to the Frontier. One area though where I would definitely give the advantage to the Tacoma is off-road capability. Even though the Frontier is definitely an off-road capable truck, the Tacoma is designed for it, especially if you go for the TRD Off-Road or the TRD Pro versions, which come with a lot of off-road hardware. And because the Tacoma has been a popular choice with off-roaders for a very long time, there's also a lot more aftermarket support as well. If there's one area though where Toyota could spend some time to improve the Tacoma, it would definitely be the interior. Now, in terms of its functionality, this is a very straightforward interior with plenty of easy to use buttons and knobs for all of your basic controls, and you also have a pretty good touchscreen infotainment system that does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. Not only is the interior very user-friendly, but you get plenty of active safety features as part of Toyota Safety Sense. Aside from that though, this interior could definitely use a little bit of updating. For one thing, even though the touchscreen is easy to use and does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it does look very dated when compared to what you get in the Frontier. The interior is also just not that comfortable. It can feel a little bit cramped in here, and there's not a lot of storage spaces. The back seats are also very tight and not that comfortable for adults, although you do have the same problem with the Frontier. Despite a few shortcomings, the Tacoma does have one major ace up its sleeve, and that is value for money. Pricing for the Tacoma ranges anywhere from $30,000 to $45,000 US, or around $40,000 to $55,000 Canadian. Although that pricing is very similar to other comparable midsize pickup trucks, including the Frontier, what the Tacoma has going for it that you don't get with every midsize truck is amazing long-term reliability, low repair costs, and sky-high resale value. The Tacoma has built one of the strongest reputations in the truck market when it comes to its long-term reliability, and this is a truck that's easily capable of going for hundreds of thousands of problem-free miles. Now, while the Frontier is also known to be a very reliable truck, it just can't compete with the reputation of the Tacoma. And because it's so well known to be such a durable and long-lasting truck, it also has one of the best resale values in the car industry. Compared to most cars and trucks on the market, Tacomas just refuse to depreciate, and the prices of used Tacomas is absolutely through the roof. So when you look at the Tacoma from a strictly financial point of view, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to buy anything else. So where does that put the Tacoma when compared to the Frontier? Well, I really think this is one of those comparisons where you're not going to make a wrong choice whichever way you go. Both of these trucks are very well designed with great reputations for reliability, plenty of capability, and both offer a lot of value as well. The Frontier is definitely the more comfortable and easier truck to live with on a daily basis. It's more comfortable to drive, it has a nicer interior with more features, and it's just easier to live with day to day. But even though I know I would be happier behind the wheel of the Frontier, my rational side would still draw me towards the Tacoma. The value that it offers, because of its amazing reliability and resale value, is just unbeatable in a pickup truck, and for most, it really is the smart choice. So while it might not be perfect from a driving or features point of view, I'm more than willing to compromise a little bit if I know it's going to be saving me money in my pocket. So let me know what you think of the 2022 Nissan Frontier and Toyota Tacoma. Which of these two pickup trucks would you buy, or would you buy something else instead? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at some of my other videos by checking out these links right over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.